Welcome to RedHawk Rewind. I'm Tim Carey.
And I'm Dave Meyer, and I want to go throw it right back at you, Tim. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about pretty good hockey weekend?
Wait, am I the guest? No, I'm not the guest today, but I will answer your question.
we could switch it around. You
I
could be
could
the
sit
guest.
over there in the
Yeah,
hot seat.
Yeah.
Hockey 4-0, first time since 2007. And so usually you ask me, what did you do this weekend? What I did this weekend was dig through hockey record books until my eyes were just like, what in the world is going on here?
So, what are some of the things you found out?
Well, Ilya Morozov had 3 points in back-to-back nights, and that's the first time since like 2012 that somebody's done that. So there's a lot of box scores you have to go through of like, okay, who's had 3 points in a game? And I'm sure there are more efficient ways to do everything I do, but it's like you find a system that works for you. And for me, it involved a lot of caffeinated drink and staying up late and digging through, but then we found it. We had a line this weekend that had 16 points between the two games, 5 goals a night at RPI for the team. It was pretty exciting.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. And you talk about staying up late, but let me talk to you about my Friday night.
Why is it that no matter what I do, you always have a way to one-up it?
Listen, it's
like
always,
I say, I'm Tim Carey, and you're like, well, I'm Dave. I mean, it's just always something.
What is this, episode 8? You should know this, but it's about me.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so as long as we get that covered.
Next week, we're going to start. Your name's going to be first. People are going to be like, what happened? Like, well, we kind of figured it out. It's really all about Dave.
Anyway, my daughter's in the band at the local school here, right? She performed at halftime. I keep thinking competition, but it's just a performance at halftime. She has a nice little solo in the middle of it. It's fun.
Yay for her.
But I could have rode with the team over to Akron. Left early, just rode on a bus, chilled. But instead, I decided I'm going to go watch my daughter in the band and then drive over to Akron. So game got over about 10, 4-hour drive over to Akron. Got there about 2. 5 hours later, got up, off to the stadium. I mean, Father of the Year, right?
Right. And I'm sure you were cheering for your daughter, but that was like in the stands, right? I mean, it's no cheering in the press box.
Well, we could have a full 30-minute podcast about people cheering in the press box and what happens to them. But yes, that is definitely a rule.
Check back next week for the newest Miami Athletics podcast entitled No Cheering in the Press Box. We'll have lots of stories to talk about. Can we talk about Adam Trick?
I mean, Adam's having a pretty big year, and we will get with it when he walks in, but he's 10th in the country in sacks. The team is 10th in the country in sacks. He just came off a career day over at Akron, had an interception. I mean, it was pretty dominant.
Well, let's bring him in. And welcome back in to RedHawk Rewind. Our special guest today, Adam Trick, Redshirt junior, defensive lineman from Dayton, Ohio. It's nice to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Adam, thanks for the show, or welcome to the show, I guess. It would help if I can actually speak. Big weekend this week for you. I think you had career-high 7 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, and a sack and a half. Just talk to us a little bit about the contest.
Yeah, it was a great team win. It's hard to win on the road in the MAC, so we kind of knew that going in. And, Akron had a decent squad this year and a lot of good pieces, so just came in there, started a little slow. And that's kind of been the theme, since I've been here. Start slow, whether it be the start of the season or the start of games. And, but the thing about the group, like, we keep going and keep pushing, and, we don't really worry about the scoreboard. And, I kind of take that into my play. Like, if, I'm not having success right away, like, we don't budge, and I don't budge either. And, just had a good game personally. Like you said, career high in tackles. Was able to affect the quarterback a little bit. Knew going into the game that would be huge, and just kind of took advantage of the opportunities that came my way. And like I said, hard to win on the road. So the fact we got out of NIU and Akron 2-0, like, that's a great start in the MAC, and kind of excited to see how the rest of the season goes now.
Both of those teams felt like they were able to move the ball early on the first drive or two, and then really kind of close down on any specific adjustments, or what was it that you saw from the defense as far as kind of figuring it out in a hurry and then really clamping down?
Yeah, a lot of offenses when they kind of come into games against our defense, I feel like they're opening script. They're trying to scheme us up, and they show us a lot of unique plays, and certain plays you can only run maybe once or twice in the game. And the thing with our defense is it's kind of all about just seeing those looks, adjusting, knowing that, if we keep getting after them and keep doing our thing, we're going to be fine later in the game. And that's kind of how it was the last 2 games, just kind of feeling those teams out. And, would I like us to start faster every week? Absolutely. But, we got to – the coaches kind of relate to the guys. Like, if we just keep playing and keep doing our thing on defense. I mean, there were certain adjustments we made, within the first quarter, kind of what they were doing. But, we know that if we play our game, and stop the run, force the offenses to throw, get after the passer, create a little havoc, like we're going to be just fine. And it's kind of the case of that, on Saturday.
I mean, I'm reading off the stats, and I totally blanked on you having your second career interception as well. Just can you walk us through that play of just dropping out into coverage and the tip ball kind of finds you?
Yeah, that's a really interesting play. So we've had this call in our defense ever since I've been here. It's a check to either an empty or condensed formation. Like we want to get out of our original call, and it's our check to send both of the ends back into coverage. And we run it all the time at practice. And it's just funny that we never really called in the game. It has to be a certain look, a certain situation. Just so happened to come up in this game. And, me being a linebacker initially kind of really helps me out because I kind of understand route concepts a little bit. So I was dropping, kind of was looking to the boundary first, didn't really see anyone. Looked to the field. I saw number 2 was kind of running a dig route, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to kind of like shape back over here, maybe affect the throw somehow. And Eli made a great play on the ball, kind of tipped it up, and I just happened to kind of be right place, right time type of thing. But it's interesting about that play call. We've only called it twice in game, I believe, since I've been here, and both times DNs have gotten interceptions on it. So it's kind of a weird little thing there. The first time was my true freshman year, the Ball State game, to go to the Bahamas to kind of seal the game at the end. I think it was either Caden Woolard or Brian Ugu. One of them maybe deflected, kind of similar situation, deflected the pass, and the other guy was kind of right there to get it. So I think we should maybe call it a little more if we're 2-0 on defensive end picks there. So, yeah, kind of a unique situation, just kind of happened to be at the right place at the right time.
I'm texting Coach Brinken right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam's got some thoughts on defense.
Right.
So, all right, perfect.
The play before you blew up in the backfield, it was a tackle for a loss, and it was a running back, but, I mean, pretty dominant into that series. Like, what does it take for you to get into the backfield? Like, what are you thinking as you're lining up for a play and trying to decide, here's what move I'm going to use, especially in the pass rush maybe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on that specific play, we had a great call, kind of red zone play for us, where if it's a zone read and I get a down block from the tackle, I just activate straight to the running back. So it was great for, anytime you get a DN and you get that play call. Normally we're the quarterback player on zone read, and, you've got to be a lot patient. You're reading the quarterback, and then you go to the running back. It's a lot going on in your head. So once we get that play call for me, it's like, let's go. Like, I hope this tackle down blocks, because then I know straight path for the running back. And a lot of times, it confuses the quarterback and gives the running backs kind of easy play to make for a TFL. But especially in the pass game, like a lot that I've learned this year is just it's all about setting up moves over the course of the game. I might come out and show a guy my speed, and then he kind of has to have that in the back of the mind that I have the speed to go around him. And then from there it sets up, speed to power, sets up maybe an inside move for me. That was kind of the biggest adjustment from last year. Like, how can I take my game to another level? And that was kind of one thing I learned from, the guys before me, like Ugu, Woolard, Corey Suttle, Ty Wise a little bit on third down. Like the great pass rushers here, you understand it's a process. It's kind of a game within the game throughout, each game, you versus that tackle, just kind of how can you best set yourself up for late game, when the sack really matters. Like, you might be doing something in the first quarter to help you in the fourth quarter, like when the game's online, you need your best rush. So just kind of having that in mind has helped me a lot.
That was one of the things I was going to ask about. Like, there has been such success at pass rush over the last few years, and like what you learned from those other guys that came before you, and are you able to kind of already be helping the guys that are coming up behind you and like giving them little pointers like, here's what I'm thinking or here's what I'm doing or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was kind of waiting my turn, I was watching everything those guys were doing. We've had a lot of great pass rush, and that's a credit to Coach Brown and kind of what he's been doing with the D-line room. And that was great for me. I mean, I was kind of able to sit back and, kind of just observe, like, how are they working at practice, kind of what moves are they doing, learning from them. And, yeah, it's definitely helped me this year, and I'm trying to be, that guy for the young guys. So any time they have questions, I'm always trying to, give them little nuggets of info and little tidbits that I've kind of learned from those guys. And, hopefully the chain continues. Hopefully, the younger guys, will be in this role someday, and just process will keep going.
You mentioned earlier on that the slow starts. We'll go with the record first, right? An 0-3 start, now 3-3. I've heard Coach Martin talk about this a million times. But why do you think this team is able to rebound so well every year and really turn things around?
Yeah, I think it's just a testament to, one, the coaches starting from Coach Martin, then you can trickle all the way down to the position coaches, and then the leaders that have kind of been around kind of understand, MAC plays, obviously you want to win your non-conference games. And when you start with two Big Tens on the road and then UNLV, who's 6-0 right now, and last year we had 3 Power 4 teams off the bat, like, we know every year going in, like, our non-conference is going to be a challenge. And, I think we've gotten to the point of this program where we can go into those games and expect to win and can compete. But the biggest thing is just understanding, like, those games serve as lessons for the rest of the season. Like, after that Wisconsin game, we kind of had an idea, like, wow, like, we got a pretty good defense. Like, if we can continue this up and, just trust in each other, like, we're going to do some good things coming to the MAC. And, it's kind of been the story of, the last few years. Like, kind of take those punches and learn from them. But just from the coaches to the leaders on the team, you kind of understand, like, not the outcome we wanted. There was a lot of mistakes, like a lot of corrections. You make those corrections and just week in and week out keep showing up and, handle business.
You've been around the program, so you've experienced it, but there are so many new guys on the team this year. So when you were 0-3, are you doing extra talking, or how do you just get the younger guys to understand, like, hey, there is a lot of football to be played yet?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big concern. Kind of when we were 0-3, I was thinking, like, last year's team is such a veteran team. Like, last year there was no flinch whatsoever. Like, we were in that hole, and I think everyone knew, like, we're going to get out of this. We just got to keep working. And this year I was just kind of, thinking to myself a little bit, like, wow, we do have all these transfer guys. We do have got a lot of young guys playing. So I think the NIU game was just huge from that standpoint of we put a lot of work in throughout the week, and we got to the NIU game, and we were down early, and it was like that could have been the turning point of the season.
Yep.
We're down 14-0 on the road. NIU, good program in the MAC. Like, we could have easily crumbled. And just from a defensive perspective, I came to the sideline, other leaders, Silas, Eli, Corbin, Oscar, kind of the guys that have been around. We were like, come on, like, we're better than this. Like, we need to lock in here. Like, let's make these adjustments, keep playing. Like, we're better than these guys, like, one play at a time. And that was kind of the message all week. And I think the young guys, transfer guys, are definitely bought in now. I mean, 2 straight victory, or three in a row. So we just got to keep it going.
Dave mentioned this stat a little earlier, but you're top 10 in the country in sacks. Your team is top 10 in the country in sacks. For those of us that will never have the experience, what's the feeling? What goes through your mind when you get a sack?
Honestly, I say it all the time. Like, I come to the sideline, I'm like, I just, like, blacked out. Like, it's, you make your move on the tackle, you see the quarterback, and then, like, next thing you know, I'm getting up off of the ground. Like, you honestly kind of, like, black out in the situation. But it is an awesome feeling. I mean, I love.
So you don't remember your sack, and I don't remember my sack either. Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of remember them, but, like, it's all, like, kind of a blur when you're out there. But, no, it's definitely awesome. I mean, there's nothing better than getting after the quarterback and getting sacks. And even if it's not sacks, just getting, affecting the QB any way you can is awesome. So I love it.
Do you have a favorite sack of your career so far?
Ooh, favorite sack? The Wisconsin one is definitely up there. That one was very special to me. Northern Illinois getting the strip sack. That one's funny because I was sitting in the hotel room the night before the game, and I was like, there's one thing I haven't done yet, and I haven't gotten a strip sack yet. Like, it was on my mind that night, and I was like, I need to, like, sacks are great, but strip sacks, that can really change the game. And kind of the night before the game, I was just in the hotel, like, this is the game. Like, I need to go get a strip sack. So that one was special just because I kind of was envisioning it the night before and came to, ended up doing it. Those two. Yeah, I mean, the one at Toledo last year that's a favorite to me. I just hit a really nice move and was almost a safety. I was pretty hype after that one, too. Showed a lot of emotion, which I don't always do, so that one's special. Yeah, I'd say those are probably right in the top 3.
Going back in time a little bit, what is your earliest football memories? How did you get started playing the sport?
Yeah, so I started playing in 3rd grade, and growing up, like, everything in me wanted to be the quarterback. And really my first memories is just Pee Wee being the quarterback, and I was just bigger and faster than everyone. So our play calls would pretty much be like QB sweep right, QB sweep left, and I'd just get the snap, take off, and 80 yards later it's a touchdown. And like in 4th grade, especially 4th, 5th grade, it was pretty much if I was touching the ball, like I was scoring most of the time. So that was really fun, getting 7 touchdowns a game and just kind of running wild. And kind of as I developed into middle school, I was still, I was a pretty big kid in middle school and was slinging the ball around a little bit. Went to high school, and I was dead set on being the quarterback. Got there, and I was kind of in a battle with he's actually the starting quarterback for UCF right now. So things actually worked out for me and him, but we were in a QB battle and ended up losing, and head coach was like, I think you should try defense, and made the switch to defense and was playing safety for a little bit. My first couple starts on varsity, started bulking a little too much, and they're like, I can't really be playing safety, a little too big now, so made the move to linebacker. Linebacker my sophomore year, kind of sophomore junior year. Played linebacker for a few years, and then come here as linebacker, and now DN. So I've kind of made the evolution of a lot of people have made that evolution. I think I'm a Bengals fan, so Sam Hubbard,
Yeah.
I believe, was maybe tight end to linebacker to defensive end. Like, it's kind of a steady progression for a lot of players. It's just kind of interesting how my career's kind of unfolded in that way.
Anything you learned from playing quarterback, starting on that side of the ball in those different positions that really factors into how you approach it now, trying to track down a quarterback?
A little bit. I would just say what's helped me the most is just kind of my overall IQ of the game, kind of understanding like what offenses are trying to do. I kind of can understand, what the mindset of a quarterback and, what they're going through, and just playing all 3 levels of defense, from secondary linebacker to D-line, just kind of having a whole idea of what everyone's job is and what everyone's responsibilities are can definitely is a benefit to me, I think.
So why'd you commit to Miami? You were, obviously a local in Dayton, but I'm sure you had other offers. Why choose here?
Yeah, my recruiting process was very interesting. It was during a very weird time. My junior year was the COVID season and only played, I think, 7 games, maybe, all conference games. There's no official visits. It's a crazy time to get recruited, so kind of because of that, I felt like I was a little bit under the radar, wasn't getting a lot of attention. I was kind of tall, lengthy prospect, but didn't have the best film coming out of high school, and not being able to visit was a disadvantage to me. So honestly, the choice to come to Miami was really easy. I was kind of looking at the few offers I did have, and like you said, it was close to home. I could tell the program was trending upward. They're coming off the 2019 MAC title. The coaching staff has done a lot of great things, and it was a great town, great school, which was important to me. So all those factors kind of led me to Miami, and I look back, I was like, that was a no-brainer, and even still this day, I'm really happy I made that choice.
So you didn't send any coaches your 3rd grade film when playing quarterback, rushing around?
I really do wish I had that on film. I don't think there's any film of it out there, but I would love to see it just because, it was hilarious. Like, I remember in 4th grade, I believe it was, or maybe it was 5th grade, but there was a weight limit to run the ball. You didn't want a kid 30 pounds more than anyone running the ball, and I was always right on that limit every single year.
So you're like a
4th
wrestler,
grade,
like
5th grade.
dropping weight before the game, so you
Yes.
can.
I'm not kidding. Some nights before the game, I wouldn't eat just so I could make weight, and I would strip down like just in my underwear, get on the scale, and all the team's other coaches were like huddled around. They're like, I hope this guy doesn't make weight. Like, we don't want to play this kid. And sure enough, like every time I'd be like a half pound to a pound under the weight, and I'd be like, let's go, I can play today.
I don't think I quite understood the stakes of Pee Wee football. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to go back and look at that a little bit.
Yeah, it was a whole situation. It was honestly it was crazy, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Those were some fun times.
Academically, what are you majoring in? Any favorite classes you've had here in Miami? Kind of what are you hoping to do with that degree someday?
Yeah, I'm a business analytics major here. I'm set to graduate in December, actually, which I'm excited about. And yeah, kind of, once I'm done playing football, I want to stay around football or sports as much as I can. And I kind of want to use that analytics degree in any way I can, kind of merge the two. So I'm kind of thinking right now, like maybe working in a front office professionally, maybe the NFL or even a college team. Kind of merging business and sports together any way I can.
I feel like I kind of undersold that too. Academic all max student athlete. I just got to get that in there.
Now, I know Tim's going to have a game to play here, but before we get to this game, which is always rigged against me,
Dave never wins.
I talked to Coach Brown this morning, and he said you're a pretty good dancer.
Oh, dancer? I mean, Coach Brown's probably lying to you then. I don't know about that. I only really have like maybe one move.
What's the move?
I mean, I hit the move, and he might just say that because the bowl game last year, got the interception, and that was another funny story of like the night before the game. Thought popped into my head, Snoop Dogg Bowl. I need to hit the Snoop Dogg like low rider celly if I make a big play, and sure enough, find an interception somehow and hit that. But other than that, I mean, I don't really dance, so Coach Brown might be spreading some lies.
It seems like you have a pretty good track record of being able to manifest things in the hotel room the night before.
Yeah.
And I mean, that you should be able to use that going forward, and that's pretty good skill. So we ready for this game?
Let's play it.
Okay. So these are our buzzers with the best I could find. Sorry, Will, I knocked the mic stand. So we need something.
These are fancy.
Yeah,
These are really nice.
Yeah, I
could at least
invested a lot of
write
money.
buzzer on it or something.
So I did not write buzzer on it. So when you are ready to buzz in, you just hit the thing. I thought about having one that you could both share, but then I was like, I didn't want to, he'd probably break your finger.
He'd smash my hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the game is called Trick Questions
There we
in
go.
honor of our special guest.
People love playing little name games with my last name, on the broadcast especially.
Yeah, there's so many good puns.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It writes itself. It really,
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every big play, it's always some reference to my last name.
an
so
interception
that's
would
funny.
be a trick pick. Like, you can
Yeah.
just kind of go on and on. Okay,
Yeah.
so Trick Questions is the theme. So I'll give you a sample. Do they have a 4th of July in England? Yes,
I would say no.
I would say no as well.
they do. It comes after the 3rd of July. Every country has a 4th of July. So that's an example of a trick
I'm
question.
done. Nope. I'm out.
So,
Come on.
so the rules are very simple. If you buzz in first, you get to answer the question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, the other person gets a point.
Deal.
So that simple.
Got it.
As soon as you think hit the buzzer. Will can be our judge, our faithful producer over there. How many birthdays does the average man have? Yes.
I'll go 0 because guys don't really like to celebrate their birthday.
The answer is 1. Every person has a birthday. So point for Dave.
Now I'm overthinking.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. When you know it's a trick question.
I was going to be like, wait, 77,
Yeah,
something like
see-
I don't know how old somebody. Yeah,
baseball. How many outs are there in an inning? Yes.
6.
Very good. Another point for
Let's
Dave.
go.
I gotten that one wrong.
I
was
think I'm
thinking
0
3.
7 so far. So
If there are 7 months that have 31 days in them and 11 months that have 30 days, how many months have 28 days in them? Yes.
1.
No.
12.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. I need to think a little more before.
I'm glad I didn't walk out. This is great.
You're-
I've never been on this side before.
I've heard a lot of these too before. I should know 'em. Definitely heard that one.
Is it legal for a man in California to marry his widow's sister? Why or why not? Yes.
Dumb question.
That's not a yes or no answer.
I have no idea. No.
Okay, so that's a point for Adam because you buzzed in, you didn't know. If you marry your widow's sister, if you have a widow, you are dead, so you can't get married again.
Got it.
Mm.
Trick question.
Yeah, they're all trick questions. That's the title.
I got you.
If there are 3 apples and you take away 2, how many do you have? Yes.
3.
No.
If you have 3 apples and you take away 2,
2. You took away 2. You have 2 apples. Point for Adam.
Mm.
this is harder.
It is hard.
What was the highest mountain on Earth the day before Mount Everest was discovered? Yes.
Mount Everest.
Very good. It still existed even though it had not been discovered. We are at 3-3.
I feel like you
Yeah.
heard that one before. You
That
you
one
were
I did
very
not hear.
confident. You were very confident in that. So how many more questions do we have?
It depends until he gets ahead and then I call it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Rigged for me.
If you were in a race and you passed the person in third place, what place are you in? Yes.
Third.
Very good.
That one I have heard.
Dang it.
Definitely heard that a few times.
I sent him a few of
good
these
one.
last night by email.
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
prep,
I've been
so.
studying.
I figured.
I have 2 U.S. coins totaling 30 cents. One is not a nickel. What are the coins? Yes.
A quarter and a nickel.
Very good. One is not a nickel, but one is a nickel.
I've heard that one before.
That's a good
I
one.
didn't write these all. I mean, why is it illegal for a person in North Dakota to be buried in? Is that right? That's a dumb question.
Moving
It
on.
isn't written well. We'll just skip that one. What 5-letter word becomes shorter by adding 2 letters?
The silence is really good.
Short.
Very good. Short, you add 2 letters, it's shorter. So I've got
There we go.
5 for Adam, I think, and 4 for Dave.
Oh.
How much dirt is in a hole 5 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 3 feet deep? Yes.
60?
No.
No?
No dirt because it's a hole.
5
5 to 5.
makes
Should we,
sense.
should we say next one wins?
All right.
I got to find a good one here.
Yeah.
I feel like it might even be better to just not answer.
I think
Well,
so.
yeah,
I
there's
think
there's
answer
definitely a,
wrong.
a strategy
Yeah.
to that. A train pulls up to the station. You notice that one car is full of people, but there isn't a single person on board. How can that be?
What are you talking about?
Just a good riddle brain stumper. It's a little harder when you don't have it actually written out in front of you.
I got nothing. I'm not buzzing in. We need a
Okay.
new question. What's the
New
answer?
question. Everyone in the train car is married, so there's not a single person on board. That's how it's possible.
It's like dad jokes.
Yeah,
like
it's
bad
a
dad
cross
jokes. Yeah.
between. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Little
had to
bit of
get long enough on the trick question list. Last one. What was the president's name in 2002?
It's before my time.
I mean, I know who it was, but that's not the answer. So I'm trying to figure out.
That's the trick question.
Yeah.
You guys are just gonna call it a tie
Yeah.
and like stall out.
I
It's
like
like
it.
one of those soccer team. You just dribble to the
Both-
corner and
both
just
scared to answer. We don't want to get
Also,
the other guy.
when were you born?
2004.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Tim, what year were you born?
1983.
Man, you're old.
I know. If you ask what was the president's name in 2002, it's the same as it is right now. The president's name didn't change.
Current
over the
pre-
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
It's a tie.
5-5.
I'll take
Not too
it.
bad. In all seriousness, we like to end with a question that doesn't have anything to do with dumb games. You've been here for a while.
Mhm.
If you could go back and give yourself a piece of advice as you're coming out of Wayne High School, getting ready for college, knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Wow, that's a good one. I mean, there's so much that I could go back in time. And just if I could tell my younger self, that would help me out. I think the biggest piece of advice would just be like, it's all gonna work out. Like, stop stressing so much. Stop worrying about things out of your control. And that's the hardest part of transitioning from high school to college. I think is like you go from you're the guy at your high school, and then you come here and you kind of have to wait your turn, and you're in a new space, and college athletics is hard and it's not easy, and you're going through all these workouts and meetings and all this, and you want to play and you're stuck behind, you're buried on the depth chart, and that can get hard. So I would just tell myself, like, keep showing up every day, keep doing what you're doing, like, stay true to who you are, and just be patient. Like, it's all going to work out, and one day you're going to look back and just thank yourself that you're disciplined through the process and you didn't give up, and you just kept pushing every single day, and you're always going to get to where you want to go or where you should go if you just put the work in and just be disciplined.
Perfect. I think
Yeah.
that wraps up the show. Perfect. Well said. Well said. So, did you have a little bit of fun?
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. Yeah,
Thanks for
good time.
joining us.
This Saturday, Miami hosts Eastern Michigan. Noon tickets are available. Thanks for watching the show. Please go like, comment, subscribe, share all the things. We'd love that. And we will see you next week.
Thank you guys.